You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Welcome back to another episode of Go Time Dolphins. After the mini bye that was, the Dolphins return, travel to Seattle for week 3 against the Seattle Seahawks. And I think this might be a Go Time Dolphins first. I think Charlie will correct me on that. But before you correct me, Charlie, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. I'm all right, Kadeem. What you got going on, bro?
Final full day in Orlando. I head back to the UK tonight, tomorrow being Saturday, land Sunday morning, and I'm basically going to put my suitcase down and make the trip to the Hippodrome to watch Dolphins Seahawks. There is no way I am missing a single Dolphins game this season just because Tua is playing. That's not how my fandom works, but if that's how your fandom works, not you, Charlie, but other people, is what it is. I'm just not that person. Charlie, is this our first view with a guest?
All right, so you broke up with your internet. You said, "Is this our first?" And then you said, "A guest." I didn't catch the rest.
First game preview with a guest.
First game preview with a guest. I'm gonna say no. Because all right, so it's the first game preview with a guest that's not a Dolphins fan. So we've had Dolphins fans with us while we did a preview, but this would be the first one that is not a Dolphin fan. And since we already tipped it, you know what I'm saying, we might as well introduce one half of the CNC machine, Charlie, last name Wilson. What up, Charlie?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's like I say, always good to be on with you guys, and this week especially, my Seattle Seahawks versus your Miami Dolphins. And I appreciate having that title as the first non-Dolphins fan to be a part of a preview. That's cool. I appreciate that.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm a little melancholy because we don't have Tua with us, and we really missed the opportunity to say the Hawks Tua game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. Like, we just it's not the Hawks Tua games no more. So it's crazy, man. But Charlie Wilson, we appreciate you sliding as always. You feel me? You comfortable here on Go Time Dolphins now.
I love it, man. It's 3 drafts in a row I've been on with you guys before and afterwards. We've missed on some players and we've hit on some players. And this is the first time we're going sort of head to head with our 2 teams since I've been coming on the show. But yeah, it's always a pleasure. I'm looking forward to this game on Sunday and seeing how you guys and your fans and the Go Time Dolphins listeners feel. How confident are they in bringing the team to what should be a tough game for you guys? But we'll see.
So shout out to David Furones. I think it was David Furones, but shout out to him anyway, even if it wasn't him. That reminded the Dolphins faithful. But everyone knows the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 24 years. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? So the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in 24 years. And I think it was David that reminded Dolphins Twitter maybe a couple of days ago. And he said, yeah, the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in like 24 years, but do you know who the last team the Dolphins, the team before last that the Dolphins played in the playoffs? So it wasn't the last team the Dolphins played in the one in the playoffs. It was the team before that. And it was the Seahawks, bro. And you wonder how did the Dolphins play the Seahawks in the playoffs? That's how long ago this thing was, because the Seahawks used to be in the AFC. And that's how the Dolphins played the Seahawks in the AFC playoffs, in the playoffs. That's listen, bro. It is embarrassing. I ain't gonna lie. I like trivia and stuff, but that stat check kind of shook me a little bit. I didn't like that, bro. I did not like that because that's just seemed ancient. Kadeem, were you even around when the Seahawks were in the AFC?
I'm 30. Yes, I was around. I'm 34, 35 next month. So yeah, unless they were in the AFC, 36 years ago, and they left, that year, then no, I was around. 99.9% sure I was around when the Seahawks were in the AFC. I wasn't a fan of the NFL then, but I was definitely around.
Hey, so we're gonna do a little different today, ain't we? Are we switching it up with no huddle at the beginning?
Yeah, just because obviously there's so many injuries on both sides of the ball, it makes sense to kind of, get no huddle out of the way so we can basically not be hamstrung by what we say heading into the rest of the episode. So I think I'm better prepared this week. Still, getting my bearings as I'm not on the right side of the pond for myself. But I have the timer.
Hold on. Today you gotta introduce it. Like this is there's first time listeners. It's Dolphins versus Seahawks going into the preview and all the other good stuff. We got no huddle coming up. You gotta dress it up, Kadeem.
I was about to.
Nah, you said you had the timer and stuff. You gotta dress it up.
Let me land. You didn't let me land. I basically listen. The play call was announced, and before I went to the huddle to announce the play call, you were like, "Yo, time out." Yo, can I call the play first? Let me call the play first. As I was saying, the timer's ready, and for those who haven't been with before, if it's your first time listening, if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan or whatever, this is a segment of the show called No Huddle, where Charlie goes once again embarrass himself and not know the difference between, or not know the correct conversion from Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to Celsius, whatever it is. So look,
see, you listen, I ain't gonna lie. Once upon a time, I thought I could do this like seamlessly, and it wasn't as easy as I thought. And now I'm batting like 78%. You know what I'm saying? And it's not good. So I'm hoping I could clean it up a little bit.
So the timer is up. The music is ready yet, but basically, as I said, for first-time listeners or people who may have forgotten, Charlie is going to attempt to correctly predict the weather for Sunday's game in Seattle. So
it's not really a prediction. It's like a conversion. I'm just going to convert it from Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's not really a prediction.
We're going to find out if he is Jason Sanders from a 50-yard field goal or if he is Harrison Butker, given the way he's playing at the moment. So let's have a look. We've got no huddle music. We have our first temperature gate. Shout out to Rob SAFC. So Charlie.
Yep.
The weather in the degrees in Celsius on Sunday.
Hold on. Go ahead. My bad.
Yes. The weather in Celsius on Sunday is 16 degrees Celsius, and your time starts now.
16 degrees Celsius times basically 2. Take it like 32, add 30, that's 62. I'm already not liking it. I'm not feeling it, bro. This is bad. All right. Dang. I'm going with 60 degrees. Like 60 degrees Fahrenheit is 16 degrees Celsius. But that's kind of chilly, bro. Like, I can't believe it's that cool out there right now. That's got to be wrong.
Timer has that. Your final answer, was it 60 degrees?
Yeah.
What do you reckon it is, Charlie Wilson?
So, I think he's close. I'm going to say 67.
Charlie Wilson's got 67. Charlie Touche has gone 60. Charlie, you were 1-1 heading into this game. 2-1.
Gotta love it.
2-1.
Gotta love it.
The
Yo,
correct
what's,
answer.
what's the correct answer?
Fahrenheit.
61?
Yeah.
Ooh. Dang. Bro, that's kind of... Why is it so chilly in Seattle right now, bro? That threw me for a loop just now.
Always chilly in Seattle.
Always chilly in Seattle. Charlie is 2-1. Hopefully the Dolphins will be 2-1 after this game. In terms of the injury report, interesting. So, for the Dolphins, they had one person who did not participate on Thursday. That's Grant Boast. One Armstead was limited, but he said he's playing. Raheem Mostert was limited. Malik Washington was limited. And then Liam Eichenberg, Rob Jones,
Hey, cut the music down a little bit today. Cut the music down a little bit.
Of course.
I was jamming though. I ain't gonna lie, I was jamming. That thing sliding.
No worries. I blame me not having a mic. So I thought from the beginning, Brantley Bose did not participate. One Armstead was limited, but he said he will be playing this weekend. He and Malik Washington were limited. Liam Eichenberg, Bob Jones, Jalen Phillips, and Jeff Wilson Jr. were full participants. For the Seahawks and Charlie Wilson, you might want to stay away from this because it's not looking good. Jonathan Hankins, is it Uchenna Nwosu, Jaron Reed, Kenneth Walker III, and Kevon Wallace did not participate. Former Miami Dolphin Jerome Baker, Earl Brown, George fan, Noah fan, Derek Cole, Tyler Lockett, Boyer Maffei, Brady Russell, Leonard Williams, and Devin Witherspoon were limited. And then Anthony Bradford, Tyrod Dodson, DK Metcalf, Vicious Chenault, and Nathan Thomaston were all participants. And that is your kick report. Charlie, how is fantasy looking?
Touche's 24, Boye Mafe, by the way. Fantasy football. Listen, man, this thing might be a little grim. If you got Dolphins on your fantasy football team, we're going with sitting Skylar Thompson. I'm sitting Jalen Waddle. And if I'm being honest with you, me personally, just personally, I would sit Tyreek Hill. I am not starting any Dolphin players except Devon Achane. That is it. It's the only Dolphin player I'm starting is Devon Achane. And I understand, well, I picked Tyreek Hill second overall. What you mean, Charlie Touche benched Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I did.
So here's my thing, Kadeem, and we could just and Charlie, you can get in here too. If you give me a wide receiver that you could possibly have this receiver if you knew you picked second or third in the draft. Give me a receiver that was on your bench. Like you probably have Terry McLaurin, right? That's possible. You have Terry McLaurin.
I literally do. I can tell you my bench.
You see what I'm saying? Like all right, go ahead, Kadeem. Like who's on your bench?
So on my bench at the moment is Terry McLaurin, T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Devontae Adams next. I've got Christian Watson, and I've also got Stephon Diggs at the moment.
So who are your two starting receivers?
At the moment, Diggs and Hill.
Diggs and Hill, and Devontae Adams is in the flex.
Yeah.
So I'm already going Devontae Adams and Diggs. So now the question is, who am I flexing? Tyreek Hill or who else is on your bench now?
T. Higgins, Isaiah Likely, Gary Terry, Johnny Smith, Christian Watson, and Brian Robinson Jr.
I'm going Brian Robinson Jr. over Tyreek Hill. So that's just my opinion. So, and that's really the conversation. So anyone, matter of fact, can you cut the music, Kadeem, just in case? Like this is an actual conversation that people really need to have with themselves. Like, all right, there's a chance, and I'm gonna be real with you, there's a chance. Everyone knows there's a chance Tyreek Hill could go off for 25 points with Skylar Thompson. Had he had a real quarterback, the ceiling is the roof. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Michael Jordan. He could go off for 50. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But with Skylar Thompson, Coach McDaniel calling plays, you could probably go off for 25. Brian Thomas Jr. could give you a safe landing spot of 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got a good, nice little 16 out of my flex, and I'm happy with that. If you go with Tyreek Hill, bro, Tyreek Hill might give you 4 points because of Skylar Thompson. Like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. He might give you 7. He might give you 8, but I can't do it. I can't get there with Tyreek Hill. So this is gonna be the first time, and maybe the last time, because I imagine Tyler Huntley's gonna come in next game, and then all of our fantasy players could come back to life. But this is the first time, and hopefully last time, I will not start Waddle or Hill, and I never thought I would ever say that. I'll start the Dolphins defense, and I'll start Jason Sanders because he might have a record-breaking amount of attempts of field goals this game. So Jason Sanders might break the field goal record in attempts this week. But that's the only people I'm starting from the Dolphins. On the other side of the ball, I'll start everybody. Give me Lockett. Give me Jackson Smith and Jigba. Give me Metcalf. Give me whatever running back's going to play, whether it's Charbonnet or Kenneth Walker. If Kenneth Walker is hurt, you're definitely starting Charbonnet. And if Walker is going, it's tricky. You want to start Walker, but if he's not 100%, now they might be splitting carries. So that's a little tricky. Be careful with starting Walker if it's a game time decision, and then they go with Charbonnet. So start Seattle's defense. It's unfortunate, but this is where we are. Could Charlie? I seen you like you don't know about starting all these Seattle Seahawks. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't know about you benching the second overall player in the draft. To be honest, Charlie, that's my confusion around your takes. But in terms of Seattle's players, I'd definitely be starting DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith and Jigba. We'll talk about these in a while, I imagine. But JSN, Charlie, was a guy me and you both loved in the draft. In his first year, he was really held back by a really bad defensive coordinator who's now stinking out of the place in Chicago, like Seahawks fans told Chicago he would. But last week we saw what JSN can do, and I imagine Seahawks are now going to start leaning on him heavily. I can see him having a real breakout season in fantasy this year.
So, yeah, I was going to say that about Jackson Smith and Jigba's first season. So, here's the thing. We'll go right into easy money because that might help people understand how I got Tyreek Hill on my bench. There is no easy money pick of the week. Like, now, I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick one. But there's nothing that I like. There isn't a line that I love. And I'll be like, you know what? This is the easy money pick of the week. Devon Achane, 86 total yards or something. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek Hill, 6 receptions. Waddle, 40 plus receiving yards. I don't know. Like, Waddle didn't even get 50. Remember our 50 out. This is the safest bet there is, 50 yards. And he didn't get that last week, or our last game with Tua and Skylar. I am very, very, very concerned. And the pick of the week is this game going under 41.5 points. To me, I think that's safe. I don't think Skylar Thompson's going to get in the box at all. I think it's going to be Jason Sanders kicking 6 field goals, if I'm being real with you. And I got Jason Sanders starting in my league. I ain't going to lie to you. So, and I'll be real with you. I don't think the Dolphins win this game at all, Kadeem. Hold on, because you froze. And I'm looking at the still picture. I'm like, did we lose Kadeem? You know what I'm saying? So, and you still got a still picture up there. So, and then when you started talking, you was kind of choppy. So, let's see if we got you right now. Maybe we might have to drop you out and bring you back. Can you hear us? Oh yeah, you frozen, Holmes. Hey, let's try to restart Kadeem up. And if you could come join us, Kadeem, if you could just drop out and then come join us, I'd appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Kadeem's super frozen right now. Hey, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, man. So if you see what I was saying about the over under, where does Tyreek Hill get points from? Like probably 8 receptions for 5 yards apiece. I understand that, but I don't see him breaking. I don't see him getting deep. I don't even see him getting in the box. So all of his points are going to come from receptions and screen passes.
I agree. I just think he's going to get one, like at least. Like they're going to force feed him the ball because they kind of have to. Like he gets open so quickly and so easily. But I imagine your head coach is a fantastic play caller. I imagine he will scheme plays to make it easy for Skylar Thompson, and his speed alone just gives you the upside. But I'm totally on your side that it's a risk, right? We don't know what Skylar Thompson is really capable of. Is he going to miss Tyreek Hill on a deep ball? Is he going to get the ball there? So it's definitely a risky play. But if you're aiming for the upside, someone like Terry McLaurin, what's his upside? Maybe 12 points, 13 points, whereas Tyreek Hill is 30.
Notice. All right, I did kind of say Terry McLaurin, but I would do that being nervous. I ain't gonna lie. If I started Terry McLaurin over Tyreek Hill, I'd be super nervous. And I don't know if I actually pulled the trigger and said I would start Terry McLaurin. I think I said someone like Terry McLaurin.
Okay, anyone in that kind of ball range, right? I mean, Devontae Adams is a different one because that guy is just ridiculous.
Right.
But I 100% see your point where, like, you're worried that Tyreek Hill might get 4 catches for 34 yards. Like, that is a very real possibility. We don't know how and what offense the Dolphins are going to be able to put together. But we saw last week, the Green Bay Packers won a game with Malik Willis at quarterback. There are ways to win, but is that going to be a way that gets Tyreek Hill the ball down the field? It remains to be seen. And, Kadeem, it needs to be said, Seahawks have 2 cornerbacks who are no one can cover Tyreek Hill, right? He's the best wide receiver in the league. But if one guy can match him for speed, it's Tariq Woolen, who might even be just as fast. Obviously, Tyreek Hill can route run anyone, but Tariq Woolen is a good matchup with Tyreek Hill, and I'm quite disappointed that Tua's out because that would have been fun to watch.
Bro, so I was in my phone while you were talking, and Mike McDaniel's on the podium right now as we speak, and he said, I guess I imagine the question was, well, the word on the street is anybody can run this offense. And McDaniel's quote was, oh, well, it wasn't. Shout out to friend of the podcast, Marcel Louis Jacques. He said McDaniel gets sort of triggered by the belief that anybody can run Miami's offense. And he says Skylar isn't anybody. Yeah, man. If anybody could do it, you wouldn't be around here paying everybody $52 million a year if anybody could do it. That's all I'm saying. So, man. Yeah, so what you think about my over-under? Like, I think it goes under 41.5. I do think Dolphins have a hard time passing the 50, if I'm being real with you. I'm there's something in me that says, yo, maybe we need to put Devon Achane in that kickoff, but I don't want to hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like even week 1, something that we never brought up on this podcast, Tyreek Hill was back receiving a punt in week 1. And I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Is this what we're doing now? So yeah, man. I don't know, bro. I'm a bit nervous about this game. I thought this was a winnable game for sure. Like if we had our quarterback, I thought we would win the next 4 games and I wouldn't even lose sleep over it. But now, man, bro, I'm just hoping we could get I wonder if Tyler Huntley even makes an appearance this game. Like this is Skylar Thompson so bad that coaches that says, you know what, Tyler Huntley? Option right, option left. Read option right, read option left. Quarterback power right, quarterback power left. And that's what I'm thinking about right now.
And you know what, Charlie? If that happens, if Tyler Huntley does make an appearance this week, I think not only will Skylar Thompson not have lost his place as a starter, he might not be on the roster next week. He could be starting this week and released. If he's that bad that Dolphins have to bench him for Tyler Huntley, who's been in for a few days, that kind of says a lot about what the Dolphins feel about him. But to answer your question about the over-under, I agree. Seattle's offense is nowhere near where it needs to be right now. It's very different to what it was last season, and it's super complex, and we're just not there yet. So I do think it'll be a low-scoring game. So I would agree. tough over under at 40, but I think it would be around there.
41.5. I need all of my points. I need them all. Like, don't hit me with a 4. I need it all. Like, this is very important. Kadeem Simmons is back in the building. Kadeem, we were talking about comparing Skylar Thompson to Malik Willis, and Charlie did it, and he didn't even know that me and you actually did that over on Patreon. So I was telling Kadeem, like, yo, Skylar Thompson is just a little bit better, just a little bit better than Malik Willis, just a little bit better. And somehow, some way, Malik Willis was able to bust a ticket and win a game last week, right, on our dollar. So, and I apologize to everybody because there's no way Malik Willis should have won that game, and I should have been smarter, and I should have took that under too. So my bad about that. But we're taking this under because I don't see how this game gets over 41.5 points. Kadeem, you're back.
Yeah, my internet was cooked, so apologies for that. I think I've seen so many people kind of say this isn't just a big game for Skylar Thompson, but for Mike McDaniel as well. For those on social media quite a lot, there's been a lot of talk about Mike McDaniel giving up play calling, Mike McDaniel somehow on a hot seat despite getting a new contract extension and stuff. And basically saying if he's such a offensive genius or offensive guru and stuff, he should be able to lead Skylar Thompson over the Seattle Seahawks with all the weapons and all that kind of stuff. I think that's way too simplistic a view to take. I think given this is Skylar's third year in the system, he says he knows the playbook. The coaches say he knows the playbook. He's had over a week with the starters, all that kind of stuff. If he can start and finish a game, I'm confident at the very least he can keep the Dolphins in the game by not doing anything stupid. But as I was saying to Charlie Wilson before we went live, any team in the NFL, I don't really care who you are, any team in the NFL, if you have to your backup for a prolonged period of time, the chances are your season's basically done. And I think that, for Skylar Thompson to come in and potentially win this game, he basically needs to not turn the ball over. If he can, give the ball to Achan, Waddle, Hill, Johnny Smith, whoever it is, cool, fair enough. If he starts turning the ball over, it's going to take every single ounce of Anthony Weaver magic to keep this a close game and for Dolphins to win.
Not going to lie, I might have to look up Skylar Thompson over a half an interception because that's going to hit too. I'm going to take that over for sure. And I don't want to sit here and be negative Nancy or Debbie Downer or what's all the other names that they got like that. And why are they female names? Or inconsistent Kadeem. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Might as well just, I'm just trying.
I don't even go.
But yeah, listen. I'm just saying, but look, it's you have to consider some things, and that's one of the things to consider. Like, yo, what if we do get a W, but Skylar Thompson does throw a pick and the game goes under? Everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think taking the Skylar Thompson interception is money in the bank, and I also think under is money in the bank. But Kadeem, what you were saying about McDaniel being this offensive genius and Dolphins Twitter tripping, like, bro, I'm done with Dolphins Twitter, bro. I was done with the Dolphin fans a long time ago. It's just too cancerous, bro. But listen, Charlie, bro, you in the building, bro. Glad you in the building. The Hawks Tua game, but we ain't got no Tua. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, bro? I hate that we have to play a team like this, bro.
It's a shame, like I was saying to you, Charlie, when Kadeem cut out. It would have been a really fun game with Tua. And you know what? It still might be. Seattle always find a way to play down to bad quarterbacks. I'll say that about Skylar Thompson, unfortunately. Seattle, because they are, a new defensive scheme, a new offensive scheme, 3 new coaches, 3 first-time coaches in their positions, it's still not where it needs to be right now, and they will give up big plays because of the compact scheme which they're running. So it could still be a close game. I think if Tua played, I would have picked Miami to win this game, but I'm not going to do that with Skylar Thompson at quarterback.
Something. My bad, Kadeem. Go ahead.
No, that's cool. Two things. Kenneth Rankin says, "Sup, bro? Where you been? We've been here. I'm in Orlando. I've been in Miami, but we've still been producing content. So, welcome. Thanks as always. And
Turn on
quick question,
notifications. Turn on notifications because we've been here.
And then quick question, Charlie Wilson. So your new coach is from Seattle, right? Isn't he?
From Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yeah, and obviously
Yes, sir.
Anthony Weaver from Baltimore as well. So I guess could this basically be we know what you're going to run before you run it because they both come from somewhat of a similar and going to make the game even more, I guess, defensive? Or is it a case of, they both have their own wrinkles to the system and it'll be interesting to see who can kind of get the leg up over, Anthony Weaver and your head coach and stuff?
So when Mike McDaniel got this job with Seahawks, Anthony Weaver was his number one choice to come be DC. He chose Miami because obviously in Seattle, he's not going to call the plays. McDaniel's going to call the plays. So he got the opportunity to go to Miami. And from what I've seen from Miami, they're running a very, very similar scheme, but quite different. Mike McDaniel has sort of tweaked it in Seattle and to what he ran in Baltimore, whereas Miami are running a quite similar scheme to Baltimore last year. So not to be a homer and to be on Seahawks' side, I think Seahawks might have a better understanding of what Weaver's going to run more so than the offense of what Seattle are running, because it's very, very like from what Seattle ran in week 1 to week 2 is so different that it's just so hard to compromise. It's like they're showing you what they're doing with this hand and then hitting you with this hand. Like it's really like all over the place. It's exciting to watch. So I'm very excited. On my perspective, I don't know how Skylar Thompson will react to that. He might think, oh, I've got this guy open, and then there's a guy coming down and picks the ball off. So I think whilst they're similar concepts, it's going to be different.
I'm gonna look up over a pick and a half. Let's see what line is. No, I'm there. So I'm looking it up right now.
And I will say, last year when the Dolphins play, obviously you guys know better than me. When you guys played the Ravens defense, it was not good. Tua turned the ball over 2 times. I think Baltimore scored 56 points, a few from defense. So I feel like McDaniel knows how to play the Dolphins offense. Whether we see that on Sunday because the Seahawks are so new to this system, I'm not sure. They've blown coverages, Seattle, in the first 2 games, and they could easily do that with Tyreek Hill. He's so fast and so explosive. At any point, he can score a touchdown. But I'm confident going into the game. The Seahawks defense should have a good handling on what Miami will run.
Minus 145 over a half interception. So if Skylar Thompson throws an interception, it's minus 145. But I can't get it for more than one pick.
Kenneth Rankin says how we've been, and we've been good. It's been a very interesting.
Now you missed. You missed it, Kenneth Rankin. We've been super good, bro. We went to week 1. Kadeem came to the United States. We went to Hard Rock Stadium. Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, shook Kadeem's hand. He got to shake Kadeem's hand, not the other way. Kadeem didn't get to shake his hand. He got to shake Kadeem's hand. Zach Thomas got to take a selfie with Kadeem Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Like Richmond Webb, the Ring of Honor, Richmond Webb got to take a selfie with Kadeem Simmons. We've been straight, bro. We've been cooling. Matter of fact, Kadeem, I wanted to ask you. I got this Miami Hurricanes shirt on right now because Miami Hurricanes are ranked 8th in the nation. And I was going to ask you, because you were about to go to the game, and 5 Yard Lee was like, nah, bro, you got to go. First time at Hard Rock Stadium, you got to make it a Dolphins game. I ain't gonna lie, your first time at Hard Rock Stadium is Hall of Fame worthy. Like you did that. You know what I'm saying? You got to win. You ran all these people, got all these pictures, some dope pics from Surfer Wolf. But if the Hurricanes win a national championship, you could have said like, oh yeah, I went to one of the games the year the Hurricanes won a national championship. Which one would you rather go with? The experience you had for the first time ever at Hard Rock Stadium, the way you did, or being able to say I was at a game that the year the Hurricanes won a championship?
the Dolphins game, because I feel like genuinely I can't imagine many Dolphins fans can sit here and say not only did they get toe with Zach Thomas, but they managed to shake Stephen Ross's hand. And even if you don't like Stephen Ross too much, meeting the owner of your football team is quite an experience. So yeah, that's.
Did your hand get the itch? Did it like start smelling like money? Like, did you like wake up and like there was like money growing out of your pockets? If so, like, could you like, you know what I'm saying, like cash out something to the boy or something? Like you bumped into Stephen Ross, bro. Like, did you get the fragrance? Are you gonna drop a fragrance line of money? Are you gonna name it like pesos or something like that?
Do you feel we need to start tampering now, Kadeem, as well?
Listen, if I can tamper, listen, my fantasy team is 0-2. I'm gonna need to tamper somewhere because I can't be going free. And the way me and Hannah have spent money this trip, yeah, we're moving out to even worse. It's mad. Like, after this, we're going shopping again because I need more stuff. I need more Dolphin stuff. So absolutely crazy. I can say something I completely forgot now. So yeah, crazy.
Charlie Wilson, man. What should we look out for when what's the name of y'all stadium nowadays? Is it CenturyLink still?
They changed it to Lumen Field, whether that.
Oh, it is Lumen. Yeah. That is right. Dang. How long ago was CenturyLink?
2019 they changed the name, so not too long.
I mean, dang. So yeah, what should we look out for this Sunday?
From the offensive side, we mentioned him earlier, but Jackson Smith-Njigba from Ohio State, we used incredibly poorly in his first year. Now Ryan Grubb, the offensive coordinator from the Washington Huskies, has really opened him up. He's started to use him in the ways that we'd like to see in the slot, these quick routes, getting him open super quick. They're going to target him a lot early. We're going to want to run the ball as well. The thing is, with Charlie, the offensive line, the interior, thank goodness they signed Connor Williams because the two guards are really bad. And I imagine Miami are going to try to exploit that. That'll mean Zach Charbonnet will probably have a tough day running the ball. So they're going to look for JSN. They're going to look for DK Metcalf, of course, out wide. Explosive plays. That's the Seattle offense, especially with, like I say, without the run game, without Kenneth Walker. That's a huge loss. He won't play. He's not practiced again today. So he's not going to play. So it will be Charbonnet. I imagine it'll be a DK JSN game, and we'll just look for those big plays.
Give us a prediction, score prediction.
So I agree with you. It'll be a low-scoring game. I'm going to go 23-10 to Seattle.
Kadeem, how do you think the game goes?
I think 23. I'm going to go 23-17, but to Miami. I think Skylar Thompson picks up the win, but we aren't going to sit here and say that the Dolphins won because of Skylar Thompson. And honestly, that's not because I think the Seahawks are a team. I just have a feeling that this defense will, and it's not difficult to play better than we did against Buffalo, but I think this defense will be able to slow down the Seahawks. I think an interesting matchup will be Jackson Smith-Njigba against Kader Kohou in the slot. That is going to be so interesting, and you might end up seeing Jalen Ramsey say after a while, no matter where he goes, I'll follow him. And if you get the Jalen Ramsey you've seen for the first 2 weeks, that ain't going to be pretty either. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a 23-17 win for Miami, and Kenneth has a 28-17 win for Miami as well.
I can tell you. Sorry, Charlie.
No, go ahead. You good.
I can tell you for a fact. No matter what Dolphins defense runs, I guarantee Jalen Ramsey will follow DK Metcalf. They've always done it. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey was at the Rams for 3 years, and they have some good battles. It's gone both ways, but those two love playing against each other. I'd be shocked if Jalen Ramsey's not following DK.
Kenneth Rankin said Skylar Thompson puts up at least 2 touchdowns. I ain't gonna lie. If that's somewhere on these betting apps, I'm taking that too, the under for sure. But I got the game going like almost like the Washington game, Washington versus the Giants. Washington kicked 6 field goals. Giants scored 3 touchdowns and still lost. No, Washington kicked 7 field goals. They made 7 field goals, and the Giants scored 3 touchdowns, and the Giants still lost. Like, that's crazy. So I got to go on similar to that. I think the Dolphins I think Jason Sanders makes 6 field goals. I ain't even lying to you. So if the over-under for Jason Sanders the over-under for Jason Sanders field goals. That's wow. You say that fast. Jason Sanders field goals. That's a lot. So yeah, if the over-under for his field goals made is 3.5, I would take that all day. That would be the easy money pick of the week. But the easy money pick of the week is under. I'm taking the Dolphins. I think Seattle wins 21-24. Yeah. 21-18. 21-18. In a close game too. So it's going to be like, oh, there's a chance we go win this. But if only we got in the box. But we can't get in the box. And that's how it ends. But
when you say you can't get in the box, do you think like Achan runs in any touchdowns or just
no? I actually don't think the Dolphins scored any touchdowns. Bro, listen, we were inside the 15 twice when Skylar Thompson came in when Tua went down. And not only were we inside the 15 or like at least the red zone twice, the Bills didn't have nothing to play for. So that I thought for sure we were going to get a garbage time touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't happen, bro. Bro, it's so the offense is so stagnant with Skylar. It's painful to watch. Y'all don't remember that Jet game? It was like 9-6. Didn't we win the Jet game like 9-6?
Something, or like 11. So it was. I think there was a safety in there. I'll double check, but it was.
What I'm saying? Like, bro, it was like a baseball score, and that's what I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be very similar. It's gonna be painful to watch, and I said Jets, but I meant the paper planes.
Bear me to week 18. Skylar Thompson went 20 of 31. Why can't I just find the score? Why is it so difficult to find the score? And it's so stupid. Also, shout out to color commentary, comments. Bear me 2 seconds, guys. I'll try and work out the score. No. 11-6.
Okay.
It was 11-6. Yeah. A few comments quickly. Yeah. So color commentary says no Mostert, no box. Points out that 11 was a top ranked Jets D. Shout out to Manolo Rivera, says hello color, but and then Charlie, question from Kenneth Rankin. So you have no faith without Charlie?
No, I do have faith without Tua, and that goes to the next question: do we see Skylar Huntley? Do we see Tyler Huntley this game? Yes or no? There's just a yes or no. Like, does he come in at any time? Obviously, he's not going to start, but do we see him play this game? Yes or no? Kadeem?
Outside of injury, no.
Charlie?
Yes, I think we will, yeah.
See, hey, now I think we will too, but I think the game will be out of reach by then. I think it'll be a desperation attempt. Like, all right, let's see what you got, Tyler. Try to. Like I said, option right, option left. Devon Achan college plays. So it's not that I have no faith without Tua, but I do think Tyler Huntley starts against the Titans. And I think we win. And I think he starts against the Colts, and I think we win that too. So, and I think he starts against the Patriots, and we win that too. Like, I really believe if Huntley's under center, it's a different looking team. And also it's not, those games are going to be close too. It's not like, oh, Huntley's the savior and we're gonna win by 10 points. I would not bet on those games. to be clear. And matter of fact, I really want to make something where it's like, yo, this is a red week. Like, meaning I would not even bet this week, but I would give you something as safe as I can. Kadeem's over here looking at the Kadeem's frozen. Kadeem, like, you know what I'm saying? So I would give you something super safe on a red week. And then a yellow week is like, all right, proceed with caution. And the green week is, oh yeah, we're betting this week. I would not bet on this. But if I did, I would take the under. And those weeks where Huntley starts, it's again, I think we're gonna win those, but it's gonna be really close games. What you think, Charlie?
I think Skylar Thompson needs to get the ball out quickly, or I don't want to wish for predict injuries, but Seahawks lead the league in pressures, which is wild for a Seahawks defense because we're usually at the bottom of those lists. But they get pressure quickly with these designed blitzes, simulated pressures. And the thing with backup quarterbacks usually is they hold on to the ball for too long and take too long to make a decision and get themselves sacked, sometimes get themselves hurt. I could see Tyler Huntley coming in for that. Like I say, I'm not wishing for that, or I don't want to predict that. Skylar Thompson needs to get the ball out quickly if he's going to have any chance of not only winning this game, but competing with the Seahawks, I think. And obviously, Miami's offense does do that. So for your sake, let's hope that he can do that. And that needs to happen, and then you're going to need to see Tyreek Hill break tackles. They're on A-chain, break a lot of tackles, maybe a lot of these jet sweeps. I imagine we'll see a lot of those touch passes. I think that's the only offense that you can design with Skylar Thompson at this point, right?
Say that last part again.
The only kind of offense that you can design with Skylar Thompson is these quick passes and the jet sweeps, and it's going to have to be really simple. You can't use the same offense as you do with Tua. It's just not the same quarterback. So it's going to be a dysfunctional offense, but one that tries to get the ball in the hands of the likes of Tyreek Hill and A-Chain as quick as possible.
Listen, Jaren Hall is in Seattle right now, and I want my dog to fly back with us to Miami. That's what I really want. You know what I'm saying? I would love for that to happen. But we'll get into this in bonus time. Shout out to Mr. Rivera. And we'll also get into this question on Kenner Rankin in bonus time. Charlie, let us know where we can find you, bro.
Yeah, Charlie Wilson. Charlie Reach PLC, should I say, on Twitter, or X as you call it. NFL content throughout the season. Reporting on my third season now. Enjoying it. A lot of NFL draft content on there too. Interviewed Sauce Gardner the other day, which was a cool experience. Some more NFL players on the way. But yeah, reach me on there.
Sauce. I thought it was pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know what time it is, man. Stay positive. Hey, we appreciate you, Charlie Wilson. Come on over bonus time with us. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons and Charlie Wilson, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
How am I looking, guys?
So what?
Good.
So how am I looking? Good?
Yeah. We better get up out of here a little soon, though, because one of the Charlies worked a 13.5-hour shift, and that Charlie needs some rest.
No worries. So a few things. So we've got a few comments, as always, the color commentary. If you haven't already, go check out the Fins Tailgate podcast show, where you guys are calling them these days. Great bunch of lads over there. Still don't like El Capitan, but we'll sort out that issue going forward. So I think we'll start with Skylar Thompson over under sacks for Charlie Wilson.
Over. I think you're going to get a lot of blitzes, a lot of design blitzes. Skylar Thompson is going to be looking here, and the blitz is going to come there. Unless he gets the ball out super quick and the offense isn't going to work throughout the game, I think Seattle will get a lead and then he'll start pressing, so hold on to the ball. I think we'll see around, let's say, 5 sacks It's a lot for, but I'll say 5. Okay.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear the question, because Kadeem potentially cut out, the question was over or under 4 sacks. Skylar Thompson gets sacked over or under 4 times, and Charlie Wilson said, "We're taking the over." I'm not even mad at you. That's why we're starting the Seattle Seahawks defense in fantasy football. So Kenner Rankin said, "I got another question. Why did we go get a pocket passer instead of a mobile quarterback?" And I'm like, oh, Huntley is a mobile quarterback.
He said didn't. So I think he meant, why didn't we go and get a pocket passer instead of a mobile quarterback?
Okay, all right. So here's my thing. I am of the belief that we need a mobile quarterback. If you're gonna go with a backup, how much trust are you gonna put into this backup? Right? You got $50+ million in your starter. Backups not even seeing reps in practice. They're not getting any reps with the ones in practice. All the reps got to go to the starter. So you, in my opinion, you want someone who can improvise, use their legs when they're in trouble. If they're a backup, they don't have to think much. Like, you know what? If I get in any type of trouble, I'm using my legs and I'm out of here. If you get a pocket passer as your backup, he's more dependent on, the line has to be good. The timing has to be right with my receivers. The operation has to be smooth. I'm a pocket passer. I need certain things in my skill set to perform. A mobile quarterback, nah, man, just get up out of here. Let's go. And anyone can see that in translation. Like, all right, even if he's antsy, you can just start running.
So Connor says spot on, Charlie. Just a few of some news since we've been recording. Mike McDaniel says Tua will travel to Seattle. He's been very engaged in meetings this week. Also, as of the practice stuff. Obviously, social media has been going crazy because, of course, they're going to go crazy. That's just the way social media is. And there was also something else. But quickly, Charlie, what do you make of Tua traveling to Seattle?
I am of the belief that there's some funny business going on with the NFL and Tua. And I think they would prefer if Tua retired and they didn't have to deal with all the media and publicity that comes with concussions. So I think eventually, I ain't even gonna be honest, I'm gonna be real with you. I think eventually the NFL is just gonna put somebody on Tua like, hey, you're hired to never clear Tua again. Like, I think that's what they're gonna do eventually. It might not be this time, but they're gonna put somebody in place like, nah, bro, you're not cleared yet. You know what I'm saying? So traveling with the team, I they say, oh, you shouldn't travel after a concussion, but he flew back from Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? After the Dolphins cleared him, not the Dolphins, the doctors cleared him. You know what I'm saying? So after the doctors cleared him, he flew back. And then he's been over a week and a half removed from the initial concussion. Bro, I'm not a doctor. I gotta imagine if I had $50 million in my bank account, which I do not hit my phone or cash out. I do not have $50 million. But if I have $50 million in my bank account, I would like to think that I have some really good contacts and neurosurgeons if I had concussions, you know what I'm saying? And people who I can talk to that knew what they were talking about. And if all of them said I could fly, then I would be flying. So if he's flying, I'm cool with it. I'm tripping?
No, not at all. Like, I think none of us are doctors, none of us are neurosurgeons. I can't imagine that if Tua is currently okay, showing no symptoms, then get on a plane. I personally believe they put him on IR to basically slow down around him. It's like, hey, no matter what, you're not playing for 4 weeks. Even if you're cleared to play next week, we're going to make sure you can't play for a month, so no one can turn around and say that, we done you dirty or anything like that. It sounds like, again,
it was to appease the crowd and silence the mob, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Because what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that, Kadeem? I also think it was that too. But my thing is, no matter when he comes back, there's going to be outrage.
Oh, of course.
Like, He's gonna come back this year. Oh, he should have waited a whole year before he played. He should never played again. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's gonna say something eventually when he comes back, whether it was 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or this season. There's gonna be outrage.
Yeah. Before we get up out of here, there is something I want to raise with you, Charlie Wilson, and also you, Charlie Touche. So, our patrons over on Patreon, we done a whole episode on Bryce Young, should we trade for him, etc., etc., etc. Within the last hour, it appears, due to sources over on social media, Bryce Young is open to a trade, and the Dolphins have been suggested as potential suitors, but also are the Seattle Seahawks. So, Mr. For those that watch it, Charlie Wilson made an amazing face, and he's doing one right now. So, Charlie Wilson, Bryce Young, what do you make of him coming out of college, and what do you make of him as a potential option for the Seahawks, if not this season, next season?
I had him as a low second-round pick. It was my 4th QB in the draft. I had Stroud 1, Levis, Richardson 2, Levis 3, Young 4. Didn't like him. He's not only is he short, he's slight. He's doesn't have a big arm. He's not athletic. He has to jump when he throws slant passes because he's that small. He can't run away from anyone, and he can't throw a ball downfield. He's like Kyler Murray without any of the good stuff. I didn't get it. I don't understand it. It's not his fault. Like, he was great at college because it's college. It's not the same as the NFL. He was never a first-round pick. I understand 7th-round pick. Let's see what we can do with him. But you're starting to see this with Russell Wilson, right? When you don't have the athleticism and you can't get away from pressure and you can't run into pockets and find a lane to throw in, you just can't function. And Bryce Young cannot function. Mike McDaniel will probably be able to work a scheme where he can win with Bryce Young, because Mike McDaniel is incredible. But he's not. Everything is working against Bryce Young to be successful. And I don't see a pathway besides being in the perfect offense where he will be successful at. As a short-term fix for Miami, sure. As a long-term fix for Seattle, no. That's going to get someone fired. No. Like I said to Kadeem before the show starts, I'm sorry, Charlie, you might like this guy. Cam Ward will get someone fired in the NFL. He's not got it. He's erratic in the same way that I think Bryce Young is, and it's just too many things working against him to be good in the NFL.
Shout out to Cliff D in the comments. This season's over. Fins need a complete rebuild, but won't admit it. And don't, in all caps, let Chris Greer do it. Yeah, shout out. We appreciate you in the comments. Charlie Wilson, bro. No, I'm not sure about Cam Ward being a NFL quarterback yet. It's too. I have a season to worry about. Like my Dolphins are going to the playoffs when Tua comes back, so I don't do college right now, right? But Bryce Young, bro, come on now, you tripping dogs. You tripping dogs. Like, that was a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be real with you. It sounded like you were talking about Tua. He's too short, can't get away from nobody, can't throw the deep ball. It's the same narrative around Bryce Young. And I remember when he was coming out, I'm like, yo, how come no one isn't loud about Bryce Young the way they were loud about Tua when they were worried about him being undersized? And you heard it a little bit, but you didn't hear it as much as you heard it with Tua. Like, oh, he's undersized and all these things, but it wasn't that loud. I'm on the record to have CJ Stroud 1 overall. I like CJ Stroud. I like Bryce Young too, but I don't think he was better than CJ Stroud. 7th-round pick, you spicing, bro. Listen, how about this? Crazy thing is, I just watched highlights of Bryce Young. Just like less than 6 hours ago, I was watching Bryce Young. Like, let me see what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? I'll be real with you. There's something there. There is something there. I can understand why people would not want him. 100%. I'm not standing on the table for Bryce Young at all whatsoever. However, if the Dolphins need a backup quarterback, I'm completely open to it. You know what I'm saying? Now, Carolina will have to pay some bread. You know, they got to pay the contract. I'm not taking your your bust of a pick and then bailing you out. If you want us to take them off your hands, I'm open to it. And Charlie Touche did a little thinking. We could dress this thing up a little bit and then alleviate some of the pressure, Carolina. This is how we'll do it. We'll give you some compensation as far as assets and picks, and you give us Bryce Young and Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is on a contract year. Y'all gonna let him walk anyway. Y'all season done. You're probably gonna trade him before the trade deadline. So we get a true wide receiver 2, use him as our wide receiver 3 in this Super Bowl pursuant year, and we also acquire a backup quarterback, and then we don't have to pay this dude for the next 2 years. So now you get a wide receiver 2 out of it, use him as your wide receiver 3 in Deontay Johnson, and then you have Bryce Young, and you get to see firsthand if he could be your backup or not for pennies on the pound or pennies on a dollar if you're from the United States, and I'm cool with that.
Can I respond real quick?
Yeah, man, real quick, bro. I got you.
I agree, Charlie. As a backup quarterback, totally go for it. Like I said, it's a second round pick. He's a very talented quarterback. The thing with Seattle is he'll be seen as a future starter because we don't. Geno Smith's 34. Like, I think Seattle will, if they trade for him, we can groom this guy. Like, no, but he's not there. The thing is, as well, with a Tua comparison, yes, for around the same, Bryce Young's about 2 inches shorter. Tua is like 225. Bryce Young's like 185. There's 40-pound difference, and you can tell whenever Bryce Young's in the open field, he looks slight. And one big hit, I don't know, man. He worries me in the same way Jaden Daniels worries me. Because
I was just about to say Jaden Daniels is slim too.
He worries me as well when he runs. I thought he got injured last week. He luckily avoided injury, but I don't know. Like, yeah, can they sustain 18 games a season? We'll see, but I don't know about Bryce Young, man. I'm excited. Get Robert Hunt back, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt. That's my dog. For those who don't know, Robert Hunt, remember my name. See me in the grocery store. I was shopping. He said, "Charlie." I like, oh, my dog remember my name. I'm like, that's crazy. That's you remember my name. I didn't know if you remember my name because I got on your nerves, or if you remember my name because I was cool. Like, I like, dang, bro, dog, remember my name. So shout out to Robert Hunt, friend of the podcast, but now we can't get him back. That's $100 million that we don't got. But to nip it in the bud, man, I think Bryce Young got the bad end of the stick. Like, yo, how you not play somebody in preseason and then start them in the regular season on a new system? And it's, hey, 2 games, you're done. I've seen enough. Like, come on, man. The fix is in. Carolina is a dumpster fire. They're the new Cleveland Browns that will never win anything, and that's because of their owner, unfortunately. And they got a first overall pick to, like, they have to wash their hands of. It's unfortunate, but you gotta groom these quarterbacks, man. You gotta let them sit if they need to sit, and you just can't throw everybody in the fire. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady,
Jordan
Love. You know what I'm saying? All these boys sat. You know what I'm saying? And every come on, man. Like, relax. This is not the microwave generation no more. Like, let's chill a little bit. But that's all I got, man.
Very, very quickly. Cap says, ladies and gentlemen, Cap, welcome. Hope you are well. Color commentary says, Young actually stands in the pocket fairly well against our front. That's very true. And I want to get to this quickly, what Cliff said. The season's over. As Charlie said, Charlie read out earlier. I kind of want to do a whole episode on this about whether the Dolphins need to rebuild, all this kind of stuff. I reckon it could be a case where we do it over on Patreon for extra point, or I guess the earliest point might be week 5 by week, but we will sort that out. Before we head out of here, Cap says, no retreat, no surrender. Sunday, boys, we're going to shock the world. Rockman Drum says, you got to rebuild a team from the trenches out, then get your quarterback. And the gracious Hannah, who I'm sitting opposite, said you should do a whole episode on it. Sounds like an excellent idea. So, Cap says it's not over till we are mathematically knocked out. Very, very true.
I like it.
Charlie Wilson, thank you so much. Charlie Touche, go get some rest. And to everyone else, we shall see you on the next one. Peace.